Okay, I just wanted to do this lengthy spiel, and it wasn't recording, so, which is a good thing, because it was like I was rambling. So I'll try to like nip it in the bud this time. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Vis-a-vis the information right below this video. There's a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. It's all free. It just is helpful, very helpful to the channel, to me, to your fellow viewers who might come along and be able to find this. And feel free to share it with somebody who might, you might think this would make sense to. Roles, time, gender, all that stuff is fluid, and metaphor, analogy, symbolism, it rules the day here. So that's our mother tongue, in whatever language. So here we go. This is for all signs for the second half of February. Today, I think, is the 12th. But whenever you see it, there's something here for you, probably, maybe. You're the one who knows that. So, higher power, however you conceive it, by all your names. I mean, and there are a zillion names. I kind of think it's interesting that Yahweh, not my favorite God, I think it's sort of in some ways a tribal war god, but that the middle letters are left out in Hebrew, as I understand it. Like, by naming it, you limit it. So it's one reason it's so hard to talk about. So whatever you conceive of as what's holy, it's here at the table. It's here with us. And we're co-creating this in some way, Because I'm thinking of you, you're thinking of a question, and it's going to show up here. First out, 5 of Wands. This is struggle of some sort. You see the guys here at odds. This can be an internal struggle. It can be different people wanting different things, or just not knowing how to resolve a conflict, so they're kind of arbitrarily like smashing away. I mean, it doesn't look, there are no winners here. 6 of Wands is a card of victory. This is a card of like, nobody's winning. Nobody's winning. Okay, and the next card is it's not opposite, but sort of. 3 of Pentacles, cooperative energy. Wands are more like direction, intention, stuff like that. So being at cross purposes, maybe on that level. But this is cooperation in 3D. So whatever this 5 of Wands conflict is, apparently it's somehow perhaps like the raw material for this cooperation that can be worked out through compromise. This is not exactly compromise, but it's on the way to compromise. It's on the way. We have a 7 of Pentacles. Shows the guy looking at the harvest. It can be that sort of analysis. What have we got here? How will it sustain us? Is it enough? It's also about investment. I've put in this investment into growing this, and here's the yield. But it represents, Pentacles are something that happens over time. They're to do with time, and also a kind of currency. However, more like as in what matters to you, what do you value, than money. Although it can be money, or it can just be that sense of money and like, this is something I can exchange for something I value. It's that sort of pass it along thing. It's also symbolic. I mean, we were talking about symbolism a minute ago, and you know, it's the paper that symbolizes theoretically the gold that backs it up, which it doesn't, but since we all kind of believe in the system, it works. It works. And this is a sign of work, too. This is the effort you put in and the yield. And it looks like it's a bumper crop because we go from 3 of Pentacles to 7 of Pentacles. This is fruitful cooperative energy, somehow the seed of which is this kind of, I mean, it doesn't even look like conflict now. It looks like, given it, that it's right next to the 3 of Pentacles, this card of cooperation, it indicates, you know, the working out of that. Because that's what it can mean. It's just like, how do we get there? So let's clarify that, the 5 of Wands struggle. King of Pentacles. I like it that there's a lot of pentacle in it. I mean, I'm partial to pentacle energy in that it means grounded, real, present, boots on the ground. And King of Pentacles is kind of the high embodiment of earth energy, stability over time. Somebody who puts in effort, who takes care. You know, it's the caretaker, and like one of my favorite expressions ever is the yoga of the householder, because that's sort of like finding meaning in everyday life. You know, it's mindfulness while you know, rock your baby or wash the dishes or get a root canal, you know, whatever it is. And this person, you know, is very adept at like making stuff real and accessible. You know, this is a very good energy to be in and to be around. So we have 3 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. Well, who would know how to cooperate and grow stuff? King of Pentacles. That's what he rocks. That's what he rules. That's how he rolls. Okay, Page of Wands under the deck. This can be a new direction. It can be good news. It can be a youthful energy. It can even be considered like an immature energy, not necessarily in a bad way, but just on its way to maturation, you know, in the bud sort of stage, and or as the inspirational spark. It's a message of some kind, and it may be just delivered sort of intuitively, like suddenly you get something. You know, you can suddenly intuit what somebody's saying, which might not be what's actually coming out of their face. I don't know why I'm reading it that way, but there he, she, they are. 2 of Wands. The card of like trying to figure out where to go. And you can see he's standing between these 2 wands. It's sort of like a portal, and holding a globe. Where do I go? You know, what is the portal? Where do I want to go? What's my intention, my direction, my purpose, my inspiration? So we've gone from Page of Wands to 2 of Wands, which is sort of from the youthful energy that takes direction from their intuition to sort of approach 2 of Wands portal, like I think it might be this way. It's a choice. It's a choice. And so in that sense, it may be the decision. I figured it out. We'll see. So we're going to clarify this Seven of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. You know, the king is like the green thumb, the reliable caretaker. And the Seven of Pentacles is the creation, the harvest, the bounty. So let's see about that. Spirit. So can you tell us about these pentacles? Yep. Wow, that's a lot. Okay. Let me just see what we got for a second. Okay, this is interesting. Seven of Wands, which can be like resistance. I'm not sure. These cards are so shiny. They may not be the ones to use, but it is traditional right away. It shows the guy sort of on higher ground, fending off these other wands. That's one reading of it anyway. It can be blocking. It can be setting up a boundary, having one's guard up. So there may be a block to this Chariot energy, which is, stronger than the block. It just, by nature of it, it's a major arcana. It's the stronger of the two. So there may be a block, but this would blow right through it. It's Chariot energy, which is Cancer, I think. But it's things coming into accord. Apparent opposites. The two sphinxes pulling in tandem under the control of the unified sort of forward movement of this charioteer. And so it's synthesis, it's forward movement, it's a fast card. So whatever this growth is, and where the growth propels us, Two of Wands, where it's going to take us, is past the block. Whatever's been blocking in Wands energy, is being absolutely it's like I get the image of like the car blasting through the barricade on the highway. It's a little bit like that. Nothing is going to stop the Chariot in terms of a Seven of Wands block. And this is interesting. Next card is Ten of Wands, which is laying down the burden, lightening the load, so that the Chariot can zoom. If you're carrying all this weight, you can't go fast. Maybe not at all. And but this is the unburdening. I have a feeling this is obnoxious, flashy stuff, but forgive me if it's hard to see. But it shows a guy carrying all these staves, all these wands, all the possible direction and purpose. I mean, it's doubling down. If Five of Wands is sort of like, and fives indicate a need for change. Here's the struggle. Here's like the struggle squared. And one person is bearing the brunt. And they're the ones who need to put it down. Somebody needs to put down the burden. Yeah. But it's a good thing because it indicates the end of a cycle, and this is the laying down of the burden. He's going to do it. He has to. It's too much. Something's too much. And this is a card of walking away and toward, but it's sort of like the path in Cups energy and feelings, in heart-related stuff. And it indicates like the need to go further. And so in that sense, walking away from these 8 to get more or different cups. This guy is on, this person is on a journey. He's got the staff, he's got the cloak, and he's on the move. Because he's unburdened from something. And he's had to walk away. He, she, they had to walk away and towards something else, this person. And they're not, they're not just walking away, they're doing this. They're blowing through the barricade. But it's not to, scream, peel rubber. It's to advance in connections, deepening them to 9-10 of cups, the personal and the group, love connection, and making room for it, right? Something's got to go. And in fact, basically you're wrapping something up. You're just wrapping it up. I love it. And the one major arcana on the board is Chariot, this forward movement, this victorious forward movement. It's like the victory lap. Somebody's doing the victory lap because they've unburdened, and everything speeds up. Chariot is very fast, very fast. And again, time is bunk, but it could be, if it's in wand energy. I mean, what we got here are a lot of wands on the board, a lot of pentacles. Wands are much faster than pentacles. Pentacles are much more grounded than wands. But the major arcana says, here we go. Here we go in a balanced, victorious, forward-moving way that also involves deep feeling, because as a sign of, I also think of it as Aries, but it's traditionally considered Cancer, which is a card of a water sign card, which is the Feelies one, which is 8 of Cups. That's the path. I like that. That's the path, right? That's the path that this Chariot is accelerating and heading down. So let's see, what do we got? We're clarifying here, this Page of Wands. It can be good news, right? Here we go. There's the flipper. The crossroads, a decision that needs to be made. And that's echoed right here in the Two of Wands. Where are we going? A decision needs to be made. It's not being made in this card quite yet. But that's on the Page of Wands, who's the one who sort of finds the direction, finds the purpose, finds the inspiration to decide, do I want to step through this portal? Where am I going? How do I get there? And this is how I get there. I figure it out. I feel my way. Wands energy, intuitively. And again, it's sort of like blowing past these blocks. 5 of Wands, struggle. 2 of Swords, a mental block of some kind, a decision that needs to be made. And 5 of Wands, this sort of, cluster F. And Chariot is just saying, that's out the door. There's no more of that. No more blockage. I think that's great. Of course, when we unblock, it's sort of like it can be like the dam breaking. Okay, and there were 2 more that I didn't get, along with, I'm not sure where they came. I think they came out with the 2 of Swords. So the crossroads is, Queen of Wands, rocking that wand energy, intuitive, receptive, reads the energies, who would know where to go and be able to get there by her purpose, her fire energy, her forward movement, her decisions and so forth. Queen of Wands. In her energy, absolutely. She stands at that portal and says, here I go. And Ten of Cups, this satisfaction and fulfillment. She goes from Eight of Cups, I need to get on the path, knowing who she is and where she's headed. She's absolutely the great expression of that Wands energy, in the yin energy, if you want to look at it that way. It's not like I walk the path and I like pound it out, like a pack mule. It's not that. And it leads to this incredible Ten of Cups. It does. And it involves unburdening and absolutely blasting through these things that hold all of us back. If we let them. Defensiveness, internal and external struggles and blockages, the need to lay down the burden, Ten of Wands, the need to make the decision, the need to leave behind what you need to leave behind, because you're on a path to something else, something more fulfilling. In fact, you're on the path to Ten of Cups. You're on the path. So, I think maybe that's it for this read. It seems so evident that we're, well, all right, I'll ask one more thing. They're saying, hark? I hear it, okay. Which is, what's the breakthrough? Because that's what we're talking about here, Chariot, Two of Wands, all these cards of impediment, Chariot, there's a breakthrough. And it's grounded and it's inspirational and it leads to a very good place. In a cooperative, real-time, reliable 3D energy. We have a pair here of Queen of Wands and King of Pentacles, and that's a good pair. That's really complementary. So what's the breakthrough, Spirit? Okay. Oh, wow. Four of Wands. Somebody, and I can't remember, I think it was Mary's Tarot Corner. She's brilliant, and she's one of those bilingual readers that just blows my socks off. She called this exquisite balance. And I think it is. It's a card of balance. It's a portal card. It's home. It's where we come together. In exquisite balance. And it can be really in any capacity in our lives, and basically in all of them, because it's the place of where we meet. There's another great quote I read this morning. It's a Rumi quote, and I can't remember it. Sorry. Ace of Pentacles, the new beginning. God damn, this shiny. Well, it's as bright as the sun. It's a shiny coin. It's something that matters, being offered to you, kind of from on high, from that ground of being. I like that expression because it's grounded. It's a grounding. It's an earth energy, the ground of being. Where'd that come from? It's like that's one way to talk about God, or, Flan, Yahweh, however, it's the force that is expressed 1,000 ways by every culture since the beginning of time. We've needed a relationship, and willy-nilly we have it between what exists on this plane and what exists that we can't see or feel or touch, which is a lot. which is a lot. But this is a seed of something real, and it's paired up with this. The seed of this. We're going home. Oh, and I love it. And what was revealed, I'm not going to look anymore, on the bottom of the deck is the new beginning, the Fool card. We're on our way. We're taking the leap. And it's landing us in this perfect, balanced place where we're all home. This Fool, by the way, is in the same energy of all these wands. So, this is a lot of wands and a lot of earth, and a few cup energies that are all positive. And the only challenging sword energy is that crossroads. But whatever we decided has led us to an absolutely brilliant journey, the Fool's journey, to start fresh. And this always reminds me a little bit of, if you've ever seen, what the hell is it called? It's Dancing with Wolves. I kept thinking, Never Cry Wolf, Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. My brain was going through every wolf. So in that movie, he, just a bit to set it up a little bit, he's the, it takes place during the Civil War. This guy wakes up in the hospital tent, and they're getting ready to amputate his foot because it's been blown off, basically. It's a mess. And they didn't have time, they were just like, bring him in, cut it off, let the person live with the amputation. And our hero, and it's Kevin Costner, I believe, wakes up and realizes they're going to take his leg. And the doctor's called off somewhere else. And Kevin Costner sits up and finds his boot and pulls it on his mangled foot and stumps out of the tent and into this chaos, just Civil War hell. And there are a bunch of Union soldiers lined up this way, and the Confederates on the other side. And everybody's completely, they've been in this standoff, obviously, for a very long time, and the Union guys are depleted. They've given up, basically. They're just lying there. And the rebel soldiers are kind of taking pot shots at people. And so the Union guys can't get, so they've basically given up. And Costner, with his bleeding foot stuffed in the boot, somehow, I think he just commandeers this horse, which is like the general's horse or something, and gets on the horse and proceeds to ride up and down in front of the Confederate line. And, so they're all shooting at him. But he's like, he's not having it. He's already put his boot back on his bloody leg, and, there's a way in which there's nothing to lose. And he's in that sort of state of grace. And it's amazing. And he goes out, and you can't see my hands, but, he's open wide. He absolutely open wide, sort of like this, off the cliff edge. And I think it's there's something just beautiful about it, because he goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And they shoot and they shoot, and they're shooting up using up their ammo. And he's in a state of sort of sacrifice. I'm laying myself on the line, literally. And, or figuratively, I could say, but both at once. And eventually the rest of the troops rally, and they get out of their, this standoff, this stalemate. where nothing was happening. So it's a way, it dovetails nicely with this. Because remember I talked about busting through the barrier, breaking through the blockages? Well, there were plenty of blockages. And for Kevin and for us, and to get through it to this new chariot energy, we have to just bust through. Be willing to take the leap, to move forward victoriously. You don't have one without the other. You just don't. So I think I'll leave it there. I mean, this is a great read. It's heavy in the fire sign department. It's a pretty balanced read, to tell you the truth. And the only thing it's sort of very little of is this sort of consideration, brainy consideration. And you notice this card also sometimes speaks to me of, because they're blindfolded, they're not going anywhere, they're sitting on the beach, and they're at a crossroads, yes, but it's however this guy gets through, this energy gets through, it's not by thinking your way through, it's by Pentacles energy. It's by taking the brave risk, on a very elemental level. Fool is the first card in the deck. How do you begin? This way. This way. So go for it. It looks like it leads you on a path to here. And I keep getting this card in your readings. It's like, I can't explain how that, and I'm always amazed when, I'm always amazed. This stuff amazes me. So anyway, yes, please like, share, subscribe. Now there is finally a corrected link below. Somehow I ended up with the wrong Gmail address and a bunch of other stuff that I've been trying to correct as I go along. So we're ironing that out. So you can get to the email. It's LizaSlipstream@gmail.com, all lowercase. And I will set up a link eventually for extended readings that you can delve into, cross my palm with silver and I'll tell you more. But I haven't figured out how to do that yet. And in any case, all the rest of the content is free, and there's a lot of it. So I hope you'll join me here again. Thanks. I love you.